Right off the bat, I apologize because these days you really can't pigeonhole Hogwarts Legacy as an old school game. However, it's a title I desperately wanted to try because I absolutely adore fantasy settings. And even though I have certain reservations about the Harry Potter books, they still hold a special place in my heart, so how could I possibly refuse a visit to Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, or Forbidden Forest? Scrolling through the discussions, Hogwarts Legacy is still quite a controversial game, just as it was when it launched and various groups tried to boycott it because they disliked the views of the book's author J.K. Rowling. While I have to give some credits to the critics who point out the gameplay can get a bit repetitive at the end of the day, I'm genuinely thrilled, and not just because of my warm relationship with the books. But first things first, the game can be described as a very modern RPG that offers an insane amount of diverse quests, but at the same time is highly user-friendly and perhaps even a bit too easy. Why? Well, think back to the first Deus Ex. In that game, you stumbled upon various codes you had to memorize or literally write down on a scrap of paper and then figure out where to use them. The game gave you zero help, and here, cast the Reveal spell and you reveal everything in the area, from hidden chests to various quest items you need to collect or interact with. On top of that, for most quests, the map instantly showed you exactly where to go and what to do. To make it even easier, you get dotted lines on the minimap guiding your steps, which, to be fair, actually comes in handy inside a castle when you have no clue which floor you are supposed to be on. The second major simplification is the combat. I will borrow an example from another game here, specifically the brutal Dark Souls, which forgives absolutely nothing. Regular encounters, they are quite challenging, but boss fights are usually downright brutal, requiring you to learn a completely different strategy for each one. Here, you can basically get by dodging occasionally and just spamming one spell after another, and when things look grim, the game throws you a lifeline. Even if you are low on health and take a massive hit, you don't die instantly. Your health drops to zero, but you stay alive until the next hit, giving you a window to heal up. By the way, healing is also automatic, as long as you aren't actively scraping with someone, so you can save your health potion for the absolute worst case scenarios. Although some people claim the game is a total breeze, don't fully believe them. That's usually muted by players who have already mastered it, just like those who claim Dark Souls isn't actually hard. The real difficulty lies not so much in the combat, but rather in the puzzles. The game features several spells you need to solve environmental puzzles. Here is one example for all. You came across a gap, and it's obvious you need to create a bridge somehow. You have to go into the next room, use Accio to open a wall, then use Accio and Levioso again to move bones over to the gap, which then magically forms the bridge. Or you will have to use Lumos and Depulso to herd moth so you can reach an exit door, while also managing to guide those moths into the door mechanism to unlock it. It's not incredibly difficult, but it's definitely not mindless either. Well, I got a bit carried away there, so let's get back to what the game is actually about. This is where I think every Harry Potter fan's heart will skip a beat. You take on the role of a character who has never practiced magic before but possessed mysterious abilities, allowing you to start straight as a 5th-year student. This means jumping right into the timeline of the 5th book when you are supposed to take your oath. But right in the opening intro, where a dragon attacks you, bites off a chunk of your carriage along with a passenger, and you discover the carriage is pulled by testers, you realize this is going to be no walk in the park. Before you even set foot in Hogwarts, Gringotts Bank awaits, where you will face your first enemies in the form of sentinels. Once you finally get to the castle, you will attend various classes like potions, herbology, beast and defense against the dark arts, learn how to fly and then... Well, the game truly offers a million things to do. You have the main story missions, various side quests and optional relationship quests with your new Hogwarts friends. But then there are Merlin trials, treasure vaults, clearing out camps of Ashwinders or goblins, battle areas, tracking down ancient magic hotspots or rescuing beasts. Every single mission or activity rewards you with experience points to level up your character, which is crucial for gameplay. Leveling up unlocks new missions, some are level gated, grants talent points, more on those later, and increases your maximum health. Everything sounds amazing, but that's exactly where the catch lies and why some players get frustrated. You will only enjoy this game if you actually like doing all the activities. That means not just the mandatory stuff, but also taking care of beasts, doing Merlin trials, which are essentially more environmental puzzles, hunting for ancient magics, or doing various exploration tasks. These can often feel quite repetitive or tedious. For example, you may have to find a location using a hand-drawn map with absolutely zero map markers to guide you. So yes, there are challenges where the game refuses to hold your hand. The real question is how many people will still have a patience for it after 30 hours of playtime. Why am I bringing this up? Want to just finish the main story? Fine. You only need to be level 24 out of 40, which requires about 25,000 experiences. But watch out! Do you want to see the game through the absolute end? To unlock the final mission, the end of year term, you need to be level 34. That requires 53,000 experiences, which is a massive jump. Completing all main missions, side quests and friend quests simply won't cut it. You have to grind out a ton of aforementioned wild open activities, so towards the end of the game, even I was grinding my teeth. Furthermore, you can't just focus on one type of activity to farm points because of how the game's challenges work. These are various milestones that mostly reward you with cosmetic gears, but occasionally offer useful upgrades like extra ancient magic slots or more gear inventory space. However, once you max out a specific challenge tier, you stop earning experiences from that activity. Take fighting trolls, spiders or dark wizards as an example. To quickly get the experiences needed for level 34 and finish the game, I spent a lot of time in battle areas, where you face about 5 waves of enemies in a row. Wiping out these hordes helped me level up fast, but then, all of a sudden, the experience gain slowed to a crawl. I wondered how that was possible. Turns out, I had maxed out the challenge tier for the specific enemy type, so I was out of luck. I could only gain further combat experiences by fighting enemies I hadn't maxed out yet. The challenges are split into combat, quests, exploration, and a room of requirement, where, for example, you are supposed to take care of rescued beasts, harvest their feathers or fur, and use a loom to wave upgrades into your gear to boost your offense or defense. God, I found that so tedious. Speaking of character stats, experiences increases your health, but your offense and defense stats come purely from the gear you find, like glasses, hats, gloves and ropes. The problem is that if you want the best possible stats, you suddenly end up looking like you are about to perform inside wild circus show. Fortunately, unlike many other games, you can change the appearance of any gear piece to look like something else you have unlocked. Sadly, I figured this out quite late, since my motto is stats first, deal with the looks later. I spent a long time wearing truly bizarre outfits, topped off by glasses with a single snake eye or whatever that monstrosity was. My character's outfit honestly made me want to puke sometimes. But let's back to the main story for a moment. Because you are an extraordinarily gifted witch or wizard, school classes don't tie you down for long. You just get a little taste of them to learn how to breathe potions or grow pretty dangerous plants, and then it's straight into the action. The plot revolves around a mysterious ancient magic and attempts to harness it by evil dark wizards and goblins. Naturally, you have to stop them, which will take you into various dark corners of the castle and through sprawling catacombs. If you play the newer version of the game, you will also get to experience a certain mini DLC questline. It is absolutely insane, featuring an antagonist weirder than Peeves. But completing it rewards you with your own shop where you can buy and sell items at better rates. As we have established, the game isn't overly difficult. Still, it will give you a bit of a hard time early on because you learn spells gradually. Heavy-hitting offensive spells like Defendo, Confringo, Expelliarmus or Bombarda aren't unlocked until the later stages of the game. Until then, you will have to rely heavily on your once basic cast, which doesn't pack much of a punch. Towards the end of the game, you can even learn the unforgivable curses Crucio, Imperio, and Avada Kedavra. Imperio and Avada Kedavra in particular are extremely powerful. If you cast Imperio on an enemy, they will temporarily fight by your side, and Avada Kedavra is a literally instant kill, even against the tortoise enemies. For example, Trolls can absorb an insane amount of damage, but one Avada Kedavra and it's game over. Even though they are unforgivable curses, we know from the books that they can be used under certain circumstances, and if you don't mind casting them from a roleplay perspective, you will definitely have a fun with them. There is a vast arsenal of spells, and while questing, you will often have to put some thought into which ones to use. There is no point in describing every single spell, so let's quickly look at talent points, which are closely tied to them. Every time you level up, you get 1 point. You can spend it in one of the 5 categories. Spells enhances the power and effects of your standard spells. Dark Arts makes your spells apply curses, leaving victim cursed, slower, and taking increased damage. Core covers a bit of everything, from faster ancient magic generation and an extra spell points to better healing. Stealth provides better concealment if you decide to sneak through the game without major fights, though I don't recommend this because you will miss out an experience. Room of Requirement, a bit more niche. This boosts the effectiveness of your potions and combat plans. As you can see, the game offers an incredible amount of different playstyles. For instance, I never used potions or plants, nor did I breed beasts to upgrade my gear, except for a few missions where it was mandatory. The game doesn't restrict you in this regard. It just makes reaching that critical level 34 a bit harder. The game isn't difficult and features engaging puzzles, so it safely falls into the family game category that absolutely everyone can enjoy. For Harry Potter fans, it's pretty much a must-play. So what are the pros? Beautiful crafted world, an overwhelming variety of different quests, diverse playstyles and builds, and a engaging storyline. And cons? Having to grind a massive amount of side activities just to reach level 34. Occasionally, mandatory quests that may be not appealing to everyone, and combat can feel a bit easy, but hey, it's not Dark Souls. And the best part? You can often find a game on Epic with massive discounts, or recently they have been given it away for free, so piracy has completely lost its point. Next time, we will check out Alan Wake. Happy gaming, everyone!